and welcome back to the TV Cast, the show where we talk about TV shows or streaming shows, and we don't care about spoiling them because that's the point of the original show, the spoiler cast. My name is Tobias, and with me as always is my sister and trusted co-host Rebecca.
Hello!
Hello! And today we're talking about episode 4, and it's also our 4th episode, of The Last of Us. Something to hold my hand or something, it's called?
Episode 4 is Please Hold My Hand.
It is?
Yeah, please hold my hand.
That's not the title, I remember.
No, hold to my hand. Hold to my hand.
Yeah.
There's a 2 there, sorry.
There was some sort of 2 there, yeah, exactly. Yeah, so it's the 4th episode of what I understand is the big hit of the spring when it comes to streaming shows. At least everyone talks about it on Twitter.
Yeah.
And we have been lukewarm on it so far. I think we both really liked the first episode.
Yes, fantastic episode.
Yes, we liked the second episode.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
We were notoriously not fans of the third episode.
Yeah.
And it had nothing to do with the gay sex.
No.
Just so you know, it had everything to do with momentum.
Yes.
Momentum. So, coming
episode
into
4.
episode 4, let's talk a little bit about momentum. Now that we've reached the halfway fucking point of this season. Yeah, well, there's 9 episodes, so 4.5 episodes.
Oh, right, yeah, okay, fine, yeah. No, I thought it was 10 for some reason.
Oh, maybe it is. Sorry.
No, season 1 only has
9 episodes, right.
Oh, that's right. Season 2 have episode 1 planned.
They have that listed, yeah, because they have now announced the second season.
Oh, for Christ's sake.
And, I mean, if you think about where we are in the video game,
yes.
we've barely, started the journey yet. So I'm wondering if maybe they're not going to reach the end of the game in the end of this season.
No, the end of this season is going to be them reaching the Fireflies or something.
Maybe.
Then everything after the Fireflies is going to be season 2.
Yeah, I don't know. But
for Christ's sake, then.
Hold on. Let's first talk about what actually happens in Please Hold to My Hand.
Well,
The little blurb on IMDb is, after abandoning their truck in Kansas City, Joel and Ellie attempt to escape without drawing the attention of a vindictive rebel leader. Yeah, that's sort of the plot.
What happens?
I would rather call it, after being ambushed in Kansas City, Joel and Ellie needs to get through the city on foot to survive.
Yeah.
Because the vindictive rebel leader is not vindictive towards them. She doesn't even play by what's her name? Melanie Linsky.
Yes.
Great actress. Lovely to see her in anything. But yeah, they never meet. She's very vindictive against other people, which we don't get to see. Well,
someone she calls Henry.
Henry, and we all know from the video game that Henry is the guy with his little brother.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we see them
though I do not remember that at all in the video game.
We see them for 1 second in the very last second of this episode, yeah.
And we assume it's Henry and his little brother.
Yeah, I mean,
they don't actually tell us, though.
No, but they look like them, so...
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, because in this episode, they drive in a car. We have some funny banter, once again. Funny banter.
We have the nudie magazine thing that we missed in the last episode.
They did do that, so...
Kudos.
Well, yeah. But we already knew they were gay, so what was the... Then that was just there for fan service, I suppose.
Yes,
because in the video game, it's kind of to show, if anyone didn't get it after he said he was my partner... They had the, why are they all dudes, though? That was like, oh, he was gay. Okay. But now we didn't.
Yeah.
So it was just pandering.
Yep.
But I guess
it was
kind of
funny.
Yeah. So
kind of funny.
But yeah, then they drive a truck. They camp out in the woods.
They drive the truck some more.
And then they get to Kansas. Where they get ambushed, just like I said they would. No, not exactly like I said they would, but they get ambushed. Just like in the video game, basically. And there's a shootout where they kill everyone.
Ellie reveals that this isn't the first time she's shot someone.
Mm-hmm.
But we don't know who, really.
Yeah. And we get to know that Joel has himself ambushed people like this. He's been on both sides of the situation, as he says.
Yep. We get a little bit of backstory to his brother, who I, for some reason, just forgot his name.
Tommy,
yes.
Yeah, that he's a joiner. He joins different groups and then moves on when he realizes, now this wasn't for me.
And Joel is just there to keep him safe, basically.
Yeah. And for 45 minutes, that's all the character development we get for these characters. Now, this is in a story that is supposed to be character-driven.
Yes.
We still barely know anything, and they are getting warmer against each other. They're actually laughing together here at one point. That's nice.
Yes.
But, I mean, nothing happens.
We do get a new character introduction with a little bit of vague background story, or hints at some sort of background. I'm thinking of Kathleen.
Yeah. And she's the leader of the raiders here in the city.
The free people or something, he said.
Yeah.
On their trucks.
Which, okay. That wasn't really an element of the video game. They were just random raiders.
Here they're giving them a cause or something. I don't know.
Yeah, that they're one big group. Okay, fine. But, like, are they going to focus on that? Because we also have to remember that this is a road trip. So they can't, like, stay in Kansas City for 3 episodes now, because then the show is going to be over.
Yeah.
They have to keep moving. So what is the point of introducing the hierarchy of the Raiders if we're just going to leave them behind? I'm guessing in the next episode.
I'm hoping in the next episode.
Yeah.
Because, we get to know that this Kathleen has a brother who was obviously captured and killed by, I'm assuming, Fedra?
Or something, yeah. And they hint that Henry was the squealer. He was the rat. And that's why they're looking for Henry and his brother, I suppose.
Yes.
Sam.
Yes.
And they confuse, Joel and Ellie attacking the Raiders with Henry and Sam, so that's why they go after them.
Or that it's someone Henry and Sam has radio.
Yeah, sure, yes. And that's it.
Yeah, Kathleen shoots a doctor who's like, but I was just telling people things under pressure. I didn't mean to do anything bad. Yeah, okay. We don't know who that doctor is except for he's a doctor.
Yeah, they hint that he gave people up to Fedra, so he's a traitor. So now that they run the city, they
kill him?
They want him to tell them where Henry is. And he's like, I don't know.
Why would he know that, though? It's so weird.
Yep.
So vague, and silly to just introduce that in that way, and then just... First of all, this is like the shortest episode so far.
Yes. This is an actual, like, TV show episode.
Yeah, because it's 45 minutes.
Yeah.
But because of that, we absolutely get nothing. If it had been the extra 30 minutes that the other episodes are, we might have gotten some more info.
Yeah.
Even though it's probably too much info and ends up being world building and just unnecessary.
Yeah, this is what this still feels like a lot. They're building a world.
Yeah. A world we don't really need to see more of than the emptiness and that we know there are QTs everywhere, or QCs or whatever.
Yeah.
Quarantine QCs, quarantine zones.
QCs, yeah.
Other than that, we don't need to know the other people that much.
Yeah, that's why they keep introducing characters.
Every episode, we get a new person that's gonna be vital somehow, and most of the time, die in the same episode. This case, not.
Yeah.
For some reason. And they keep changing up, like you said in the beginning, the momentum and the pacing of everything is changed from episode to episode. The, how they've, like, laid the episode out. We had the first 2 episodes with cold opens. Now we have 2 episodes without cold opens.
Yeah. And 1 episode which is like a standalone.
Yeah, just full of flashbacks. And this one is real time again, but...
This felt more like episode 2.
Yes.
Because it was just walking around, a little bit of action.
More or less fine.
Little bit of character stuff.
Yeah, it was more or less fine. Would have wanted more clickers, and
but it's still just like just transitional stuff. Like, when are we actually gonna get to the stuff?
They could have, because I watched it this morning, and then I rewatched it a little bit just before this, so I didn't forget any key points by literally pressing the 10-second fast forward every now and then, and I watched the entire episode in like 5 minutes, and I realized I didn't miss a thing.
No, because nothing happens.
Because this episode is just very long bits of them doing one very mundane thing.
Yeah.
I mean, it takes 7 minutes for him to start the car, basically, in the beginning.
Yeah.
And all that is Ellie looking in the mirror, trying to be cool with a gun, and then siphoning fuel. That takes 7 minutes. Which doesn't give us anything, really. Except for, well, we're gonna have to stop a lot, but they don't show us that later on.
Yeah. I don't see what's so good about this show. And it's insane because the show in general has a user score of 9.2. Now, I want to say that was bumped up severely by last episode, because I think it was like 8.6 before the third episode.
Yeah, well, everyone loved the third episode. Please hold to my hand is an 8.6.
Yes, because I was looking at that, and there are actually... I haven't looked at that before, but there are actually user reviews for the individual episodes. Long
Time has the lowest star rating, though. Out of the four.
Oh, 7.9.
It has a 7.9.
Yeah, because I heard, once again on Twitter, that it was review bombed by, homophobes, of course.
Oh, of course.
Because you can't dislike that episode unless you're homophobe. Now, I'm not saying, I'm sure there was a lot of people who were like, goddamn faggots that I want them in the show.
Definitely.
But I mean, that episode had
more
other
issues
problems as well, so I'm sorry, I didn't mean like that. That was not one of the problems that they were gay. No. It was the fact that it didn't fucking go anywhere!
Yeah, it was that it was stagnant.
Yeah, and that it and I talk to people, because people are like vaguely aware that I have a podcast at where I work. But most of them know that I'm just into like movies, and then they guess I like TV as well, which I don't really.
No, but it comes with the territory.
Yeah,
basically.
So I had two people actually ask me, because they rarely ask me about anything else. But this show obviously is becoming like a cultural thing, because two people asked me about it at work. Which never happens otherwise. People don't talk about the TV shows at work; they talk about other things. But two people asked me what I thought about Long Time, and I was just like, I thought it was okay. It didn't go anywhere, and everyone was like, yeah, but it's they all liked the fact that it was like showing a different side of the situation, of the pandemic or whatever, the apocalypse. And I'm like,
yeah, sure,
that's cool, but it doesn't add to the actual story that they're telling. And like we said, it is just world building.
It could have been a cold open.
No,
but I mean, like, if they shortened it down to just the first 5 or 10 minutes, and they show a different side of the pandemic or the apocalypse by showing a random couple having like a normal life, trying to have a normal life within this chaos and decay. That would have been a cool cold open. You don't need 50 extra minutes of it.
No, yeah, exactly. It could easily have been condensed down. And even like we said, now we're just going to talk about.
I know, but the problem, because
there's nothing to talk about, and please hold to my hand.
Exactly. Please hold to my hand is nothing. It's dead, and I'm. Yeah, no, go on.
I'm just gonna say like. It wasn't even. It honestly. It was just emotional pandering. Like, call me cold-hearted, but like, and we talked about this in the last episode, but I'm going to say it again. I didn't really feel anything for the characters.
No,
because it wasn't complex enough. It wasn't layered, and we didn't get to know the characters more
outside
than, like,
of their
skin deep.
relationship.
Yeah. And you can't even say, like, oh, well, it's just one episode. No, it's not. It's fucking feature length. It's over an hour. There are movies, so sure, that are a little bit longer, that does it 100 times better when it comes to characters. Fucking, I keep coming back to it. That was the first thing I thought of. Like, one of the greatest, I guess, love stories came out in 2019. It's called Marriage Story. Sure,
I still haven't seen it.
It's almost twice the length, but that's because it's an actual movie. But that one is it's just so... That shows all the complexities and layers of a relationship. This was just them getting to know each other, and then 3 instances from their 16-year relationship, and then they died. Like... It is a tear. It's supposed to be a tearjerker and obviously pandering, because you know, pandering to the, I don't know, the queer audience. Because like we talked about, it was so subtle in the original story in the game, and here it's just like, they're gay. You're like, okay,
yeah,
that's fine, but like, why not keep it subtle like in the original?
It's leaning towards the issues we had with Rings of Power.
What? I don't even remember that show.
That they're just like, they have to shove it in your face that we have, in that case, more people of color. In this case, we have gay people.
Yeah. Like,
it's fine. We don't have to...
It was
better.
It was
better
much
in this
better
case.
in this.
Yeah, but it's leaning towards it. It's starting to... That episode was leaning towards it. Why do you have to point it out? But why are those the only 2 characters that get their very own episode? Is it just because they're gay? Because then, hello, that's not right.
Well, now we're entering into dangerous territory, because then you're going to say, oh, why shouldn't it be gay people? And then, yeah, that's fine. And listen, there was a gay... Bill was a gay character in the video game. I'm just saying that we didn't need an entire episode, a 9-episode season dedicated to his love story, because
that has nothing to do with the story.
Exactly. And
the main story.
His entire character was so beautifully explained in the video game through much subtler means. That's what that episode should have been. Like, we didn't need a love story shoved in the 3rd episode. A love story that has nothing to do with the rest of the show.
That starts and ends within the same episode.
Yeah, it is just world building to show. Like, honestly, this is what happens to other people. Okay, but we don't have time for that.
I would have accepted it better, and I would have appreciated it more if it was something that spanned within the series, that we had them cutting to them throughout the season or something.
That would have been weird, though.
It would have been weird, but if they had contact with Joel or something, I don't know.
You know what they could have done? I guess it would have been too much like Walking Dead, because they're like in one place, but fucking make the entire show about them and call it something else.
Yes.
Because it's not then The Last of Us, it's because it's 2 other characters. But that could have worked.
It's just us.
Yeah, or something, I don't know. Call it Long Time. No, that doesn't work. No. And actually explore the complexities of a relationship, especially between 2 men, where one of them has been closeted for his entire 35-year life or something.
Oh, he must have been older.
I don't know.
Either way.
Well, when it starts,
starting a relationship within an apocalypse, and one as complicated as one when you are closeted. Yes, I suppose.
Yeah, sure, and that would have been great.
There are layers to that.
I would have loved that, like a post-apocalyptic love story. Sure.
Yeah,
and have them, deal with the complexities of relationship while also fighting zombies and raiders, and doing dealings with shady characters like Ellie. No, not Ellie.
Ellie's not very shady yet, but Joel is.
Joel and Tess. Tess. Sure, but to just shove one episode in there, no. Especially not when the episode before that didn't really progress the story that much, and the episode after doesn't really progress the story that much. Like, what the fuck? Nothing is happening.
We do get one little silver lining here with episode 4, I think.
Mm-hmm.
They're stuck in a city, and we know there are other characters around that are more or less looking for them. So at least we know there's going to be excitement, confrontation, sneaking, something happening in episode 5. But it shouldn't take 3 random episodes to get to that after episode 1.
No, exactly.
That should have been part of at least episode 3.
Yeah.
Which we didn't get, because
No.
Ellie was barely in episode 3. She read the letter in the end, and that's about it.
Oh, right. Oh, she was in the beginning when she cut the face of the...
Yeah. The clicker.
The thing. Yeah.
I was about to say Walker,
no, that's infected.
because...
Clicker's the one where the entire face is
Right, sorry. I did get... Oh my god, I'm getting tired of this show already.
Yes. I can tell you, I'm ready to give up. I'm
gonna watch the next episode, but we're not gonna record on it.
We're not? Okay.
Nah, I'm done. I'm not gonna waste time recording episodes on something that is not going anywhere. Unless, for some fucking reason, we watch it next Monday and it's amazing. Then I guess we'll emergency record something.
It feels like we keep saying that.
Yeah, I know. But odds are it's not gonna be.
Yeah. You know what I want to do? I want to read some of the reviews of this, because I saw some people calling this the best episode so far, and I'm like, what?
Please hold to my hand.
Yes. It has 13 user reviews.
Because everyone said that about long time.
Exactly.
As soon as it came out.
So
was it? I think it was Julian Solomita, who's like his thumbnail and the title of his YouTube video because he talks about it on stream, I think. But he also like clips it out and puts it on YouTube. It was like crying in the club, the emotional damage or something about long time. I was like, no.
Why?
You don't I didn't watch it.
Why is it emotional damage? Because they have a full life together?
Exactly.
There's nothing really tragic about it.
Why is it? It's like watching your neighbors that you only see bring on the groceries. All of a sudden, you know they died of old age.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's that's sad, but
you didn't know them. You only saw them bringing groceries.
Yeah, but not only that. Like they had 16 years together. Like
yeah,
that's more than good. A lot of people get. Yeah,
but you don't need to be emotional about it because you didn't know them.
It's like okay.
Cool.
But let's see here. The first one, because we're gonna pat it here. 10 out of 10, nailed it. Written yesterday. This was a very solid episode from a game fan perspective. I loved it. We got our iconic scenes from the game, the magazine. Okay. Finally, Ellie brought out her pun book. I don't remember the pun book.
I don't remember that. I remember her telling puns at one point. Don't remember it was a whole book.
Yeah, and I think this is really important to show the relationship is evolving. She's now comfortable enough to tell him stupid jokes. Doesn't seem like much, but they haven't been together for that long, and Joel's trust is hard to get. Yes, and that was like, that was
the main thing in this episode.
They're warming up, and that's okay. We got to see more of the hunters. This is what I love and expect from the show. Much more, yeah. To see more. In the game, they're just the bad guys you have to kill. You never got to know what they were like as a group. How did they come to be? The show humanizes them. Once again, world building, which we do not need. They are a threat. They are a hindrance. They are a blockade in the way of getting to your goal. You don't have to expand on it. Of course, there are desperate people out there willing to kill to survive. If they're in a group with a leader who is vindictive, who gives a fuck?
We got it either way, because like they say in the review, Joel even says that he's been on both sides.
Yeah,
he can explain that shit.
Yeah, like, because he's done shit. He was basically one of them in the QC in Boston, wherever they were in the beginning.
They're both survivors. It's not black and white. It's gray. The guy screaming for his mom, that part was brutal, and I think it's something that the first game missed a bit, to humanize your enemies. This TV show is just making it a great game and story even greater. Making a great game and a story even greater.
Sure that it's brutal out there, but yeah, okay.
But, fair, I mean, I know, we're getting that through Joel, though, because he has been on both sides. He can be the humanizing of the enemy. Because he can say, I understand why they do what they're doing, but at the moment we need to survive. So we're gonna do what they're doing or something. I don't know, like, he can be that bridge. We don't need more characters to show us that.
Yeah.
They're just bad guys.
Exactly. But little moments like him yelling for his mom, that's fine. Like,
yeah, sure, that's fine.
They're just people, that's fine. But going beyond that, we don't need. That's what I mean. That's what I think they meant. The next one, 10 out of 10. The heart and soul of The Last of Us. What, fighting? I guess that was the heart and soul of the video game. Just what it does for the most part. This episode is exactly why I have been excited about this series. We see the humanity and the relationship between Joel and Ellie. We do. Yeah, I guess we do.
This episode is mostly that, sure. But
they hide, but we don't get anywhere. Anyway.
No.
It's about... Wait. This episode is the first one so far in the series that really feels like the story has gotten going and we're learning everything we already knew about Joel and Ellie, but in the way Pedro and Bella portray them. But we're getting something deeper. This episode is true to the characters, true to the story, but it goes deeper in a way that wasn't possible in the game. How does it go deeper?
Not deeper, sure I understand.
Do they mean deeper because they expand on the villains?
Because, we don't get more information on Joel and Ellie here.
No, not more than we get in the video game.
At this point.
And expanding the villains fills no purpose, especially if you know where the show is going, or I guess where the game is going.
Even if we don't really know that, we don't need to know much about the villains, because it's a story about Joel and Ellie and their relationship going across the Americas to find... Well, to save the world, basically.
Yeah.
Because they have this theory.
The whole
that
thing
we got
also...
vaguely mentioned in the first episode and people have completely forgotten about, basically.
What?
Oh, that she might be the cure.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
The thing also that... maybe I'm wrong, but this is like a road trip, right? The video game is a road trip.
Yes!
Because you
with
keep
stops
going to
where you
new
need to get... Yeah, you go to new locations to get more information or more things, and often you end up going, shit, this is where it is. We need to keep going.
Yeah, the goal is
to classic
get
road
to
trip.
A destination. Yeah, it's a road trip.
Even if the destination changes, it's still a road trip.
Yeah, and the whole thing with a road trip, the classic formula road trip is that our characters grow based on encounters they have along the way. And if you think about it, they haven't had any encounters until now. This is the 4th episode. And their encounter have only been fighting.
Yeah.
There haven't been them picking up some, stranger on the road. They haven't been like, oh, they got stranded and had to camp with some crazy couple or anything, the world building through other characters in a road trip has been completely separate from our main characters. It was the standalone episode, Hold My Hand, or Long Time. Long Time.
Yeah.
So that was not a road trip episode.
Nope. Even though they did make ways, I suppose, technically, even though we didn't get to see it.
But the new character wasn't with them. Didn't teach them anything. No. They didn't grow from the encounter they had with that character.
Exactly.
In this episode, the only characters they meet, they kill, because they're just, they're NPC enemies to kill, because they're video game characters.
Yes.
And the only other character that kind of shows, that has world building, that shows a different side, once again, how they can learn about the world, is separate from them. It's Melanie Linsky's character. We realize, people were desperate, and they are desperate enough to, round up people and kill them if they don't, comply.
Yeah,
that's the whole thing. It's also kind of funny that they took over the town from Fedra because Fedra was acting like fascists, but now they're executing people in prison cells themselves. The literal prison cells where Fedra tortured people to death. They talk about. So what is different between Melanie Linsky and Fedra?
Yeah.
They're like a heavily armed militia hunting people down. That doesn't sound any less fascist.
No. Which is, the classic, it's the classic thing in any apocalypse movie. Or any well, mostly Apocalypse, but even when you have like riots and stuff in general, yeah, the idiots running the game are brutal and terrible, but if the other ones get the power, they're gonna do the same shit, because human nature, I suppose.
Yeah.
So you're just as bad.
But they're missing something else there, and that is that usually, you know, the people that take over, that take power, you know, the raiders, you know, the militia,
liberation or whatever,
are usually like either like they're big, strong, crazy guys. Because guess what? You know who's going to survive in a situation like this?
Big, strong, crazy guys.
Big, strong, crazy guys. The strong, the meek shall inherit the earth does not work when there is no like structure left.
Survival of the fittest.
Yeah.
Hello?
In the post-apocalypse, the biggest guy will survive because he'll just grab you, turn you upside down and shake out all the cans you have and take them from you.
Or the smartest if they can avoid them, I suppose.
Yeah. Like
eventually you might not be able to avoid the strong guy, and he might just kill you anyways.
Yes, exactly. So, and no offense to Melanie Linsky, I don't see her as the big, strong type.
Oh, we have someone who keeps up with us. Sorry, I just found a 1 out of 10 review.
Oh,
Unfortunately, this show doesn't get any better. I'm out. This again, it's towards the end. This is again a very disappointing episode. This is my last episode. I won't watch again because I just don't like this series. This series is very bad. It has deviated very far from the original dark, gritty atmosphere of the original Last of Us game. Not sure I agree with that, but
when considering this is written by the same writer who wrote The Last of Us Part 2, it is no surprise. Last of Us 2 was so bad I had to stop playing, blah, 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 blah. It doesn't really go into, though, here we go. Everything is somehow ruined in this show. Everything is sissified.
Oh.
That makes it disgusting to watch. Joel's actor struggles to keep a straight face and is holding back laughter as he tries to remain serious, while Ellie makes a stupid joke.
That's the point. That's written in the script, dude.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe really we're not the same.
I don't like. Yeah, we're
nah. I just reacted to the fact that it was a 1 out of 10 because I agreed to that almost. Not really. It's not 1 out of 10. It's still beautiful visually. The music is wonderful. The acting is great. It's just the story that's lacking, and mainly it's the story where anything doesn't revolve around Joel and Ellie that is stupid and unnecessary. Like, everything else was fine when they had anything to do with Joel and Ellie. That was fine. Everything else was just, I don't care. We didn't need to see Kathleen being an angry child who's lost her favorite toy, or in this case, her brother.
Yeah. Yeah. I found another one that kind of fits our review better. 5 out of 10. Minimal plot advancement, no attention to details. This episode, much like the previous one, didn't really promote the plot much. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Was pretty much one more boring episode. The picture is still sometimes pretty, though. Okay, the picture.
Yeah.
Much talking with almost no takeaways from the dialogue. Yeah, a lot of the dialogue in the beginning between Joel and Ellie is character building. It's them warming up to each other. But then it just becomes, run behind this thing. Stay back. Or,
we do
careful.
get small things in between.
Yeah, but that's that's so little. It's so little. There's so much like I don't know what to call it. Like the dialogue is so much like just talking about the situation they're in without informing the characters.
Yeah,
it's Mega Man jumped, Mega Man shoot, Mega Man rolled. It doesn't add to the character. Honestly, I'm beginning to wonder if this would have worked better as a movie.
Oh yes, definitely.
Like a 2-hour movie.
Because they've given themselves too much time to add details and stupid things that aren't necessary instead of focusing on the characters. There's too many hours available in this.
Like, yeah, there's no focus, and then I mean, often that is my critique of TV shows. Like, you usually don't need 10 hours to tell a story.
No,
you just drag it out. It worked better back in the day when you had TV shows like The X-Files or Star Trek.
Oh, you mean Monster of the Week?
Yes, where you had every episode was its own story, and then you had like 20 episodes or whatever.
Yeah.
But then like 4 or 5 of those episodes were actually focused on an overarching story. That's fine. But here it's always just like it's one story told over 9 hours, and it really could be like 2 hours, maybe 2.5.
Yes.
So there's a lot of padding, where they're standing next to a wall. They're looking out through a window saying, "Oh, when we don't hear the tanks anymore, we're going to move to another building." Like, okay.
Yeah, we don't need to hear you say that. We can just cut, and you're moving when it's quiet, and you're looking for cars. There we go.
Yeah.
No, I don't know if I agree with the rest of that. That review. Attention to detail seems lost somewhere. The props that look like the neural network placed them based on some text. For example, draw a floor where people have eaten for 4 days. Result, a plate with 30 open cans around it. I don't know if that was something that really bothered me, because they did say that they were running out of food. So
yeah, I don't. Yeah, that is. But yeah, that's, I don't know. But what the fuck that even means?
No,
they've eaten for 4 days. 30 open. There were 30 open cans.
No, it wasn't. Characters' action don't seem logical anymore. I mean, most of them do, technically, but it's unnecessary. It's logical, but it's unnecessary.
Yeah. Yep.
I do. There's one thing that is this episode does pretty good though. It had a cliffhanger for once. It didn't end on like it's a calm moment and we're just gonna move on. Well, it did, but at least they introduced the whole, no, actually it doesn't. It ends with a gun in their face. I'm sorry. So we have that. It ends with a gun in their face, and my memory cut that last like 5 seconds out. But then we also have the ground moving, breathing, or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, so that is obviously something that's going to happen. So we what is that? Is that like one of those?
Someone said it might be a bloater.
Okay, because it reminded me of Gears of War, where they have because the Locust, as they're called in that show, the show in that video game series, they attack from below. They dig holes. I think they're called like emergence holes or something, where
right.
They spring up out of the ground and there's a fight that happens, and you have to close the hole with a grenade or something.
Yeah.
But like that's never in the video game. And that doesn't even matter. Like what it does matter is that Joel and Ellie
didn't see it.
They don't have to bother with that because they're not supposed to stay in Kansas. They're just supposed to move on. Like, why are they staying here? Why are they introducing the fucking raiders? Why are they introducing that they have a problem that they're not telling everyone else? So, you mean the leaders are withholding information from the people? Oh, like the other government, the original government did? Like, what is the point? What is the point other than building the world?
There is no point.
There is no point. It doesn't add to the story. If it added to the story, it would be okay. But it doesn't.
Yeah, no. And it won't. It's just gonna, if anything, it's gonna cause a bigger issue to Ellie and Joel when they try to leave the city.
Yeah, but that's all this is. It's just about them leaving the city.
Yeah.
Or at least it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
Is Melanie Linsky going to be in more episodes? Maybe they stay in Kansas for the rest of the season. I don't know. Melanie Linsky.
She's in 2 episodes, it looks like.
Okay, so they're leaving Kansas next episode.
Or she dies.
Or she dies, but yeah. And they stay... So they're going to stay in Kansas and do what? They're not supposed to stay in Kansas. They're supposed to get Tommy. And he's going to point them towards the Fireflies.
Yeah.
They can't... That's the point of a road trip. You don't stay. You don't stop for more than a little bit, and then you move on.
Yeah.
But something has to happen. Something has to happen. Something that we haven't had this, the big thing, where a big reveal. We haven't had it should have been when Joel kills the last guy with a knife. That should have been a big moment in the show. Sort which they had in the beginning, but they kind of forgot about that one. Where he beats the guard to death.
Oh yeah, that one.
Because that kind of showed that shows how brutal he is, and Ellie is a little scared of him. But then that went away because that was the first episode, and now she's okay with it. If it was just them, he just punched him and they ran away in the first episode. And they actually saved the violence for now, and their relationship is warming up, they're laughing together and everything. And then she sees him beat a crying man to death with his fists, and she becomes like, "Who is this man I thought I knew? Is he actually safe? I don't know."
It would have
brought character development. That's story development.
Yeah, because it would have brought an up and down into their relationship as well. Because at the moment, it's just going up. They're just getting to know each other and trusting each other more.
Yeah.
We need to have some doubts pushed in between them.
Yeah. Where is that darkness, that inherent darkness that is in Joel? I don't see it.
Well, we're only halfway through, so perhaps it shows up. I don't know.
I hope so, but we're halfway through. But maybe it's because I think we had a similar problem, not this big, but a similar problem with House of the Dragon, where it felt like it wasn't really going anywhere, the first couple of episodes.
It had a bit of a lull, and then it time jumped 10 years and we got somewhere.
Yeah, because that's where it really kicked off in the 3rd or 4th episode.
4th, I think.
When they did the big time jump, they switched the actors, or some of them at least.
Yes.
And it was so that was just introduction. Now we're moving on. And from that on, I think we both loved that series.
Oh my god, yes.
And it ended on such a high note.
Yes.
So pumped for season 2 of House of the Dragon.
So excited.
I haven't cared about a TV show this much since Breaking Bad, probably. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Anyway, sorry. Last of Us. So, but this is the 4th episode. At this point, we should have gotten here's where it kicks off.
Yes.
Because this only has 9 episodes, not 10 like House of the Dragon.
I think they're trying to do that with this episode, but it kind of falls flat because the first 2, or not the first one. The first one was fine, but the second and the third episode was so
pointless,
dull and pointless that it's just, this is too little too late almost.
Yeah. Let's see here. The Last of Us Cannibal.
Cannibal?
Yeah, I just want to see what the guy is called, because that's also you don't remember that Ellie gets captured by cannibals?
Oh, right. Yeah, I do.
Yeah, and they're led by what's the guy? David. Now,
David the cannibal.
Yeah, but he's the leader of
yes. The cannibal cult.
Yeah. And that's a big part of the character development for the characters, because that's where Ellie really gets to see the darkness that this world now has produced.
Yeah.
And we actually see her for the first time be like genuinely affected when she kills David at the end of the cannibal segment of the video game. And like that, like they should focus on that, not expanding the Raider characters.
Maybe they cut out the cannibals because they don't want to have cannibals in it or something. I don't know.
But that would be so dumb.
Or they're saving the cannibals for season 2.
Oh God.
We don't know.
I don't know. All I know is that I think I literally said, "You gotta be kidding me," when this episode was over. Because I'm like, this is still not going anywhere. We're stuck in Kansas now.
Yeah, and I got very much Walking Dead vibes from this episode, which bothered me even more because I didn't like that show.
No, yeah, that was a show that had it. You know how you do a great post-apocalyptic show? The first season of The Walking Dead, every episode dealt with an ethical problem. Some sort of they had to deal with, like, what do we do if someone in our group is infected? How do we deal with
crimes within the group?
Crimes within the group. Yeah, the wife beater guy in the second episode or something. How do we deal with with the relationships? Because of course, whatever they're called, the main guy's wife has ended up
with his best friend.
Yeah, exactly. Like now they're gonna have to deal with that. Every episode dealt with a subject. And,
but then, they added more seasons and dragged it out and got boring.
And the first season ends so perfectly because they realize, because they reach the CDC, the place where they can survive. They might have the cure there. And they get there and the guy's like, there is no cure.
Yeah.
We found a cure. It's called lead. In the form of a bullet. That's it.
Yep.
And it ends with him killing himself because of this.
Oh, that's right.
Blowing up the CDC and them moving along. Like, alright, that's it. We're just gonna have to survive now. I remember that and was like, wow, what a great ending to a show. And then
they made six more seasons.
They made 9 more seasons.
Oh my God, it's even that long.
And then there's two other TV shows now. Fear the Walking Dead and World of Walking Dead or something?
Spin-offs of some sort, yeah.
Yeah. And then of course, I think they're going to do a separate show for the Michonne character.
I think so,
And they're going to make like a movie trilogy where they bring back whatever his name is, Lincoln or whatever he is, the main guy who disappeared in season 9 or something.
He disappeared?
I don't know. I never watched that far. I tried when that was popular to watch it, and both times I tried, I gave up
after season 1.
Midway through the 3rd season. I was like, why am I watching this? This is bullshit. Because it also just keeps repeating. Every season they find a new settlement. Like, here we're going to be able to stay. We're going to make this our home. But then a crazy bad guy shows up. And in the end, the barriers are destroyed and the zombies pour in, so they have to leave and find a new place in the next season where we can build a home. But then a crazy bad guy shows up.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah.
You know what I want from The Last of Us? I want more clickers. Otherwise, that would have added a point of interest because the clickers were cool as fuck in episode 2. We haven't seen one since, though.
Nope.
Oh my God. This episode is just us complaining. I'm sorry, but there's nothing good left.
No.
I'm done.
Sure, performances are fine.
Yeah.
Production design, fine. But anything with substance, story, characters, nothing.
Nah.
It's a big goose egg.
Dead.
Yeah. So, for now, I'm gonna say this is the last episode where we're recording.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna torture myself. Unless we for some reason gets tens of thousands of views in this episode, which I don't think we're gonna get. Then I'll torture myself. I'll torture myself for views, you hear me?
Yeah.
But, nope.
Other than that, no.
We might come back, because you're gonna keep watching, at least next episode.
I'm gonna keep watch. I'll watch the next episode, and I might, because it's not that many and it's one a week, I might finish the show and I'll give you a, like, is it good enough to do a end of show review,
Exactly.
or do we cut it here and just leave it?
If you say that it picks up, I'll finish it as well.
Yeah.
Because I want it to be good. And, if
And
it's
we
good, I
might
wanna
do,
watch
like,
it.
a final episode on the end of it.
Exactly.
Or something.
But for now, no more TV cast.
This was the last of The Last of Us.
This was the last of The Last of Us. Exactly. Yeah. Sorry, but...
Yeah, not really.
Yeah. If you want us to continue... If you want to hear us complain about every episode, you know what you could do? Go to patreon.com/don'tmakeascene. And if you go in on the $3 tier or above, you can tell us, no, I want you to talk about episode 5. Because then we're going to have to.
Yep.
That's part of the deal.
Yep.
So, if you want to pay for it, we'll torture ourselves.
We'll torture ourselves for your money.
Yes. That's how it works on YouTube or on podcasts in general. But other than that, no. I'm done. Fuck this show.
It's a shame. I had such high hopes.
Yes, me too.
But,
I guess, yeah, that's it. Thanks for listening. Bye.
Bye.
The TV Cast is part of Please Don't Make a Scene. It's produced and directed by Tobias Vedén, hosted by Tobias and Rebecca Vedén. Executive producer is Annika Vedén and Laura Kinney. I also want to give a huge shout out to all our patrons over on patreon.com/don'tmakeascene. Laura Kinney, Mom, Dad, Danny Del Gaiso, and Mac and Mom.